Alright, what's up guys? So in this quick video we're going to go over hyperresing. Someone made a comment the other day about the issues of gathering resources on tiles after being tile hit, and that there was no way they can really gather resources and grow, and that it was becoming like an impossible task. So today I'm going to go over what hyperresing is and how it's an alternative to supplement your main kingdom with the necessary resources in order to grow. And so this does involve having multiple accounts, or you can do it on your main account and work with friends in order to do it in what we call a pod formation, which I'll go further into that later. But for right now, hyperresing is when you focus on one particular res. So here I have a hyperres account, and as you can see in my resources field, I have one of each resource field that I'm not hyperresing. So I got one food, one lumber, and one stone, and then every other field is just iron. Okay, and so you're going to have this completely full with just one type of res. So if you want to do a wood farm or wood hyperres, then all these would be wood, and then you'd have one iron over here. So this works, seamlessly through all types of resources. You just pick which one you're going to hyperres, and then run with it. All right, and so here's the real key to hyperresing. So even though you have these fields, the amount you're going to produce is probably still going to be somewhat low compared to what your need is when you're trying to grow in your main account. So you have to set your hero up in order to hyperres. And so in order to set it up properly, you're going to go to your hero skill tree, and you're going to put in just enough points to unlock the next stage. So see, we put just enough points, and then we'll open up to iron. And so I've already dumped some points in this iron, but really what you want to do is you want to work all the way down until you get to level 3, because it's going to have the more bang for its buck. You're going to get a much bigger yield of percentage for the points. So I use 50 points on number 3, and it gives me a 347% increase in my iron production. And so I max number 3 out always first. So if I was doing wood, I'd max that one out. If I was doing stone, I'd max that one out. If I was doing food, I'd max this one out first. And then once I max number 3 out, I would then go to number 2, which is right here. I max that one out. That gives me 65% for 20 points. And then I would max out this one right here, which is at 28. If my hero levels up, I'll get to finish that. So with all that right there, in addition, you can always put on your 25% boost, which I should have on, but I don't. I'll just put 24-hour on for now. That gives me an additional 25%. Now, if you're hyperresing food, there's a lot of good equipment that you can use that will help give you bonus for your food, like the crossbow here. Design plans are good for food. They have a helmet that does food. Minotaur's armor does some food. And but as far as everything else, I want to say it's like the Minotaur's hammer is the only one that adds any other resource, which is like 10% stone and iron. So as far as gear goes, the only thing that's really going to help you is silver. So you can there's a lot of items that add to your silver, which brings me to my next point. Anytime you have a farm, you want to maximize residents, because this thing is just for you to hit so you can get resources so you don't have to be on a tile. So you want to build nothing but residents, because residents produce silver. So this is not only going to be producing a good amount of iron, but it's going to help produce some silver as well to help supplement the silver that I need in order to conduct researches. So it's, kind of doubling down on that. And so with all those at 14 and those percentage boosts, let's take a look at what we're producing for iron on this particular hyperres account. Alright, so my max is 6,699,000, which I'm at right now, and I produce 413,000 an hour. Now, to put that in perspective, in 10 hours it's 4 million. In 20 hours it's 8 million. So in 24 hours, this can produce over 9 million of iron. And so we're looking, almost 10 million a day from a level 14 stronghold. So if you do that for each one of these, you can be making 10 mil plus on every single resource in a day. It's way more than you're probably going to get gathering resources, and you don't have any risk of getting hit doing this. In addition to that, if you don't want to make 4 accounts, because it is time consuming, it's kind of tedious to get it set up. Once it's set up, it's solid, it's self-maintained after that. But you can do what they call a pod formation. And so a pod formation is when you and 3 other people all get together and decide that you're going to be a pod. And you will stay relatively close to each other, usually like within one screenshot. So, like, for instance, if this was going to be a pod, we wouldn't be right here, but like we might have one person here, might have like one person over here, maybe another person over here, another one over here. The point is you don't want to be so close at one port and everybody can get hit. You want to be a little spread out to make it a little harder for the enemies to come get you. But with the 4 people, everyone predetermines what they are going to hyper-res. So like this person says they're going to do iron, this person's going to do wood, this one's going to do stone, and this one's going to do food. And as like you can see right now, this person's already maxed on their iron. I can't produce no more iron. So what I'm going to do, well, I'm going to just send it to one of my buddies who doesn't produce iron because they produce, you know, wood or whatever. So I'm just going to dump that iron on over to that account. And now I'm going to start producing some more iron again. And this person has got a bunch of iron. So you kind of going around robin, helping each other, providing whatever resource they need. Because if you're hyper-resing iron, you don't need no iron. You get iron all the time. You can hand it out like candy at Halloween. It doesn't matter. And so that's kind of the concept of a res pod right there. Or you can create 4 different accounts and make 4 different hyper-res farms and just hit them whenever you need res. And so that's kind of like the quick down and dirty on what hyper-resing is, and you know, some rough numbers on what you can get it up to. So like I said, this is level 14, and I can get like 10 million iron a day, and that's actually kind of the lowest producing crop. So like stone, wood, and food, they're actually going to be at a higher rate. Iron is the slowest one. So if I'm getting 10 mil iron, you're probably going to get 11, 12 mil of anything else. And food can get a ridiculous amount. I have an account that makes almost 3 million food in an hour. So you can really get those percentages up there and really mass produce this res and have no need for tiles whatsoever other than getting free gold during an event. So I hope this helps some of y'all with your struggles on getting res and growing. If you got any questions, just give me a shout, and I'll try to help you any way I can. I'll catch you guys later.